What is going on, you guys? It is another episode of the Sci-Fly Zone where the multiverse meets the seventh inning stretch. It's your boys Trent and CJ, and today's destination is taking us back to Major League Baseball. We're going to be discussing a lot of stuff that has happened in the offseason recently. We're talking Hall of Fame inductees, major signings. It's going to be crazy. So, Jeff Kent has officially reached baseball immortality as he was voted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame by the Contemporary Baseball Era Committee. This vote has been met with very mixed results because clearly Jeff Kent deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But when you compare his name to the rest of the options, such as Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Gary Sheffield, Fernando Valenzuela, you have to ask yourself, should he really have been first in line out of these other eight guys on the ballot? With the utmost respect to Jeff, absolutely not, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a weird list of guys. It seemed like Jeff Kent was kind of the best of the guys who don't really have a controversy surrounding them. A lot of those guys that you mentioned, like Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, a lot of the baseball writers are kind of adverse to voting them in just because of the tradition. And if they haven't gotten voted in now, it's going to take a lot for them to get in because it seems like opinions are souring on them even more and more. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Jeff Kent completely deserves this. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that it took this long for him to get in. I mean,
Yeah.
he's probably one of the best second basemen of all time, at least like of his generation for sure.
Hmm.
He finishes his career with 377 home runs, most by a second baseman of all time. He is third all time in second baseman RBIs and finishing just out of the top 10 for runs scored among second basemen. He debuted for the Toronto Blue Jays before quickly being traded to the New York Mets. He had a cup of coffee in Cleveland, but then once he once he got to San Francisco, when he was teammates with Barry Bonds, that's when he really reached his peak. That late '90s, early 2000s era. He earned MVP votes in all but one year as a Giant, including the year that he won the MVP award in 2000, beating out the likes of his teammate Barry Bonds, Todd Helton, Jim Edmonds, and Mike Piazza. So yeah, I'm very happy for him. Completely deserving of it. I imagine he'll go in the Hall of Fame as a Giant. I think that makes the most sense. But yeah, congrats to Jeff Kent. He absolutely deserves it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do too. Just one interesting thing here about Jeff Kent, among all-time second basemen in WAR, he ranks 19th.
Yeah, yeah, it's weird. Yeah, war's a weird stat.
It's a really weird stat. With all the offensive production that he provided at second base, you'd think somehow he'd be a little bit higher on the list, at least top 10.
Yeah, yeah, you would assume so. But I mean, the power numbers are something that you don't really see in a lot of second basemen. I feel like in the past, second basemen are the guys that get on base, have a high batting average, steal some bases. Guys like Jackie Robinson, Rogers Hornsby. Um, so he was kind of just like a different kind of second baseman, a guy that we haven't really seen much. Nowadays, there are some more power hitting second basemen, but he was the one that kind of led the path for them. Jeff Kent walked so Marcus Semien could run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, just another good inclusion to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the next second baseman from our generation that is going to be in the Hall of Fame, like if it's not going to be Dustin Pedroia, I think it's going to be Robinson Cano.
Ooh, interesting. I like
Because
that.
hear me out. He is the second most in all-time home runs at second base. He has more hits than Rogers Hornsby. He has more RBIs than Rogers Hornsby. When you got some major things over Rogers Hornsby at second base, I think you got to at least be considered.
Yeah, 100%. That definitely says a lot about Robinson Cano. He was easily one of the best second basemen of his generation. It was like seemingly him and Dustin Pedroia, the Yankee Red Sox rivalry. Those are like kind of the two best second basemen at the time. Um, and once he went to Seattle too, that first year in Seattle, he put up some incredible power numbers, hitting 40 homers. So I believe it was 40, maybe it was 38, but
Mhm.
it was like right around that number. So he's another guy that Jeff Kent kind of led the way for. And Robinson Cano, I mean, just such a great left-handed swing. It's really nice to watch him hit. Um, so yeah, I think that would be. I could totally see him getting into the Hall of Fame. He does also have a PED suspension, I believe, towards the end of his career, but we'll see how
Yeah,
much that comes
because
into play.
the thing is, it seemed like most of when he was actually like really good, he was clean.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it was only after he like started dipping down in his career in Seattle when that whole stuff started going on. So I do wonder how I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't really factor that into what I was thinking. So I think that does kind of bring an interesting layer to it because, you know, Barry Bonds, the guy who has 162 career WAR, the guy with 14 All-Stars, 7 MVPs, 2 batting titles, 8 Gold Gloves, 12 Silver Sluggers, a career OPS over 1,000. Not even reaching 10% of the vote purely because he did steroids. Even though, let's be honest, he would have done about 70 to 75% of his career total without steroids, in my opinion.
yeah. No, I
At
totally.
least.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you look at what he was doing in Pittsburgh, even before he got to San Francisco, and before he was doing PEDs. Um, he like even just comparing the body types of him, like in Pittsburgh and in San Francisco, like that's not natural muscle.
It's just a
He's
very
having a healthy
healthy
breakfast,
breakfast.
very very healthy breakfast. Yeah, he's getting his vitamins for sure. But I mean, yeah, regardless of that, like he still would have been. He probably would have reached 500 homers if he wasn't doing steroids. Like,
He was also only 65 hits away from 3,000.
yeah,
Like he
yeah, yeah, man.
literally did everything.
Yeah, that's
He
that's
did every he did everything.
yeah, that's another thing about the steroid debate is taking steroids and building muscle doesn't help like hand-eye coordination. It doesn't help you see the ball better. It doesn't help you make contact. You have to be able to make the contact, and then the power comes with it. So he still would have been a great hitter had it not been for the steroids.
Yeah, definitely. And I just think it's really weird how the whole PED stigma is still so prevalent in the voting because another guy that I think deserves it, Gary Sheffield, he has over 500 home runs, over 1,500 career RBIs, stolen over 250 bases. His career OPS over 900. And he has more WAR career than Jeff Kent as well. So like if you just want to like strictly, comparing numbers, like Gary Sheffield arguably deserves it more than Jeff Kent, even though, yes, Jeff Kent was god tier in terms of slugging at his position, kind of like how Cal Raleigh is at catcher, even though, like, Aaron Judge, like, different position overall had like better overall numbers. So, like, I feel like that's kind of the comparison we have going on here. It's like a Cal Raleigh to an Aaron Judge, Jeff Kent to Gary Sheffield. Like if Aaron Judge did PEDs, basically, like
Yeah,
like that's kind of the thing we got going on here. If Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge were to be voted in the Hall of Fame on the same ballot, and Cal Raleigh made it in first, just because you know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. I get what you're saying. That's a good comparison.
Yeah. So I just think that's stupid because he did a lot of good stuff and a lot of people cheated. And the thing is, it was incentivized and it encouraged. The commissioner at the time, he allowed it because the ratings were dying and this saved the game. So I
Yeah,
think it's horrible that these players are being ostracized from everything regarding the league because of something that the league at the time pushed for. Like I think that's dumb.
yeah, totally. It is. I do feel like it did more good for the sport than bad, I would say. I don't know if that's a hot take or if people would disagree with me, but I feel like you said, like at the time the ratings were down, this was helping people get more interested in baseball. And yet it was incentivized by the people running the league. And it wasn't really until like the law got involved and like guys were testifying in court, guys had to like take a stand and be like, okay, no, this is actually bad. This is a bad thing. We shouldn't be doing this. But I think another thing is a lot of the writers I feel like were either writers at the time or like fans of baseball at the time, and so it could have maybe skewed their perception of the game or skewed their perception of the players being like so close to it happening. Like we weren't around when all the news broke, so like we might view it a little differently. We view it more like from the stats and like don't really look at the scandals as much. But like yeah, it really did changed the way that a lot of people view the game, and a lot of people who have important opinions of the game.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want guys using steroids in the game. I don't condone steroid usage, but this was at a time where like we were saying, the league was pushing for it. So I just don't think that's fair to these guys because now obviously you should get in trouble for using steroids, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It sucks, man.
It does, but it's not the last time these guys will be on the ballot, so hopefully things will change for the better. So far, that hasn't been the case, but it's baseball. Baseball is the most unpredictable sport of all time. So
Yeah,
hopefully that stays consistent for the voting. For the official writers' ballot for the 2026 class, we have some very fun names here. I'm just going to run through the whole list really quick. We got Bobby Abreu, Carlos Beltran, Ryan Braun. He's not getting in there.
no,
Mark Burley, Shin Soo Choo, Edwin, Encarnacion, Gio Gonzalez. That's fun. Alex Gordon, Cole Hamels, Felix Hernandez, Torrey Hunter, Andrew Jones, Matt Kemp, our boy, Howie Kendrick, Nick Markakis, Daniel Murphy, Dustin Pedroia. I'm just going to say this now. He better get in.
yeah,
Hunter Pence, Andy Pettit, Rick Porcello, Manny Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, Francisco K. Rod Rodriguez, Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, Omar Vizquel, and last but certainly not least, David Wright. Mr.
yeah.
Met. He better get into.
Mr. Met, yeah, yeah, 100%. I feel like him and Dustin Pedroia are in pretty similar situations in the sense that their primes were like some of the best of their generation. They were some of the best infield hitters of their time, but injuries just cut it off. Their careers went downhill pretty quickly, which is a shame. Their careers didn't last nearly as long as they should have, and if they did have a full career, if you will, they would absolutely be Hall of Famers, and I think they still should be Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, like, their impact is still very felt in the game today. Like, a lot of guys still remember back on when these guys were playing and remember it very fondly, including us. And I do think that even though their careers were cut a bit short by injury, what they have done and what they most likely would have done should be enough to earn them that 75% vote needed to get in at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get in on this ballot, but I do think they deserve it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree, and I think that they will have a better chance within the next couple of years to get on the ballot as we see the sort of the ballots sort of like thinning out maybe a little bit. We're not going to be getting like those Ichiro, CC Sabathia, Craig Biggio guys on the list. Excuse me. So yeah, I think they're going to have a pretty solid shot in the next couple of years. However, there are some pretty deserving guys on the ballot that, like this year, who are, if they're not going to get in this year, they will get in the next couple of years. Carlos Beltran, I believe, is one of those guys. That Astros cheating scandal, I don't think is really going to have much of an effect on his career.
Hasn't had much of an effect on anything, honestly,
Yeah,
besides,
it really
besides
has.
people's perceptions.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's just like, yeah, the public opinion is kind of the biggest impact that cheating scandal has made. But I mean, he had an incredible career. He had 435 homers, 565 doubles, and over 300 stolen bases, and he was only caught 49 times stealing, which is kind of an insane ratio.
Caught 50 if you want to count.
Yeah, right. He was caught stealing bases 49 times, but he was caught stealing in general 50 times. Yeah, that's good. It was funny.
Yeah, no, but yeah, he was a very impactful switch hitter, good defensive outfielder, and also had one of the more historic home runs in the Mets franchise in the playoffs too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He's definitely going to go down as a very memorable, very iconic player. I don't think he's going to be remembered for only the Astros cheating scandal, although he did play a big part of that. I think a lot of people remember his time as a player fondly, and I mean the stats kind of speak for themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And it's really weird. I see a lot of people saying that this isn't like a super strong ballot. I mean, maybe I have recency bias, or maybe like, I watched a lot of these guys growing up in my childhood, but I think a lot of these guys deserve to get that 75%. If I had to pick a top five out of all of these individuals, in no order specifically, Felix Hernandez, Dustin Pedroia, Andy Pettit, Manny Ramirez. I do think even though he had all that stuff, he was an insane hitter, bro.
Probably one of the best right-handed hitters like of all time.
Yeah. So last but not least, David Wright.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. We kind of have a bit of a different list, and I like that. I mean, writers get like 10 votes, so if I had 10 votes, I would definitely vote for those five guys probably as well. Felix Hernandez totally deserves to be in it. I don't know if he's gonna get in this year, but I feel like he will get in eventually. I think he totally deserves it. He had an incredible prime.
Yeah.
Um,
If I had 10 votes, I would definitely pick for a lot more guys. Like I feel it feels horrible leaving off so many guys off the five because like
yeah,
I said, there's so many guys here that I would want to vote for.
yeah, there are a lot of guys deserving to get in.
Yeah.
Um, Carlos Beltran, as I mentioned earlier, the stats speak for themselves. I
Hmm.
think Andrew Jones is another guy who deserves to get in. He finished
Oh
with
yeah, one of the best
434.
defensive outfielders of all time.
Yeah, one of, if not the best defensive outfielder of all time. He won 10 Gold Gloves, all of them consecutive, by the way. 10 straight years he won a Gold Glove award. He finished with 434 homers, almost 2,000 hits, 383 doubles, and like you said, maybe the best defensive outfielder, center fielder of all time. Um, and there's a couple former Angels on this list who I'm not using my Angels bias when I say this because I really believe that these guys deserve to be in. My other three would be K Rod,
Hmm.
Corey Hunter,
Hmm.
and Bobby Abreu.
Yeah,
I
yeah, no,
think,
for sure. I wanted to put those guys there too because
yeah,
yeah, and Bobby Bray, he wasn't even just like good as an Angel. He was a really good Philly as well.
yeah, he bounced around. He played for more teams than I remember, or more teams than I realized he did. I'm surprised nobody locked him down for the long term because he was like an extremely talented player. He finished with 288 homers, 574 doubles, and exactly 400 stolen bases,
Mm.
which every time I read that Bobby Abreu stole 400 bases, it kind of surprises me because I never really pictured him as being a stolen base guy. He never really seemed like the prototype for that. But I mean, just he was an incredible player, and he was kind of underappreciated for his time. He was only a two-time All-Star, even though he was hitting like 40 doubles, 20 homers, and stealing 20 bases like consistently. So,
Yeah, so
um,
circumstances of the era, unfortunately. It
yeah, yeah,
was a rough
um,
time to be a pitcher,
it was a very tough time to be a
unless you were
pitcher.
Randy Johnson.
Yeah, he was kind of the exception. Him and Pedro Martinez were kind of the only guys that could figure it out. Torrey Hunter, another guy, finished with over 2,400 hits. He was another great defensive outfielder. He had 9 Gold Gloves throughout his career, all of them in a row as well. It
That's
was
so
pretty
cool.
much it was pretty much him and Andrew Jones were the Gold Glove center fielders in like the early 2000s. So
Yeah, bro. And he caught Jared Weaver's final out for his no
he
hitter.
did. Yeah, he did.
Dude, I remember watching that game live, was watching on my parents' bed on the TV, like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, man, it was so good, so iconic. And I always forget that he was a twin for quite a bit longer than he was an Angel. I think he was only an Angel for 4 or 5 years, but I
And he
remember
robbed
him.
Barry Bonds of a home
Yeah,
run as a twin in
exactly.
the All-Star game.
That's exactly right. Yeah, super iconic player. He is, I believe, or at least last year, within the last couple of years, he's been working with the Angels as like a assistant, like Perry Managian's assistant, I think, or like a dugout coach or something like that. So
That's cool.
that'd be cool. I think he would probably go in as a twin over the Angels as much as I would like him to go in as an Angel. It feels like he would probably go in with Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then Francisco Rodriguez, sixth all time among relievers with saves. He had 437 saves throughout his career, including the historic year where he had the most saves in a single season with 62 as an Angel. So, you know, not using my Angels bias, I really believe that these guys deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, and I think that they will eventually.
Yeah.
Along with, obviously, if I had more votes, it would be the next two would probably be Dustin Pedroia and David Wright. I think those guys are absolutely deserving of going in. So is Felix Hernandez.
Yeah, for sure. I'm totally with you. So that is gonna be our review of the 2026 ballot. The results are coming in early January, so when those come in, we'll definitely let you guys know. But congrats to Jeff Kent for making it in, and I'm sure he's not going to be the only guy. I'm sure they're going to vote at least one other guy in because it has happened before where nobody gave anyone 75%, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's been years where nobody gets inducted in, and it's not a great look. It's not a very good look for baseball.
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, you have 10 options to vote. Vote for guys. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't like. Sorry, this is we're ranting now, but like guys who don't use all 10 votes is weird to me. If you have the chance to use all 10 votes, you should probably be using all 10 votes. There are a lot of people who would be using those votes if you weren't hogging them up, you know. And like with Ichiro, it, one vote away from unanimous. That one guy, man.
Friggin' Bartman, Cubs, Steve Bartman.
Oh yeah, that's a guy. Yeah, yeah, it
It
was
was
probably
him.
him. He was the one who didn't vote for him. It's all his fault.
Oh man, yeah. If they're like, "Hey Trenton, you get to change one rule," I'd be like, "Okay, let's say nobody hits 75%. The top two guys get in.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. Makes sense. I feel like the
Just
75%
I like
threshold.
like they receive the most votes out of everyone, just get them in.
Yeah, according to the writers, they were the most deserving of being in the Hall of Fame out of their class, so they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. So yeah, that's that's it for now. Once we get the results, then we'll really have something to rant about.
There will be a
Because
lot
I
to
know
talk
we
about.
will. But we're going to get into the major signings that have actually happened literally today as we're recording this. Kyle Schwarber re-signs with Philly on a 5-year, $150 million deal, staying in Philly. So that's really cool. Philly's still going to have a lot of that core offense. Hopefully, they can bring back JT Realmuto as well. That Phillies core really needs to win a championship. You've mentioned it in previous videos. Schwarber, JT, Harper, Trey Turner, those guys, they all need to win a championship. So I'm really glad that they're really showing to Kyle Schwarber, hey, we want to win a championship with you on the roster. So I think that's cool. And what's really interesting about this signing is the Pirates also offered Kyle Schwarber a deal, but just 1 year and $30 million less than what the Phillies offered. Who's surprised? Absolutely nobody that the Pirates offered less money than another team.
Yeah, that's what they do best, undercut the best players and then let them sign somewhere else. You mentioned the fact that they don't really sign free agents. Like Brian Reynolds, I think is their biggest contract that they've given out, and it was like just over 100 million. It was like 106 million
For
dollars.
7 years.
Yeah, like ownership doesn't want to pay up. It seems like they don't want to win. Like I don't know what.
They just want to do flings with everyone, man.
Yeah, yeah, they're in a bunch of situationships. They can't commit though.
Gosh,
So
like imagine being able to like say as an owner, I got Paul Skeens and Kyle Schwarber on my roster.
yeah, man, that
That
would
would have been cool.
that would have been really cool. It would have been great for fans. It would have gotten more tickets. Um, he would have been a great veteran presence for them. That's a pretty young team, so they can use a veteran guy like that. Him and Andrew McCutchen being
Like
teammates.
I could literally see the commercial now, just him hitting one into the Allegheny and being like, "There's gonna be more of this coming next season,"
Yeah,
just something like that. Because
yeah,
guys, let's be honest, baseball commercials, they're always corny.
it's yeah,
Whenever, especially when they're trying to be cool, like that's when it looks the worst. As much as I love baseball, they cannot get cool commercials unless it's like actual footage of them playing baseball.
yeah,
Like
yeah, pretty
whenever it's
much.
just the guy standing there holding the bat going,
You won't believe where I am.
"Oh yeah, it's so good." But yeah, Schwarber's back in Philly. I
Yeah,
love it.
I like it too. It's a great re-signing for them. Not only because of the veteran presence that he brings to the clubhouse, but with the year that he had, finishing second in MVP, hitting 56 homers, and playing in all 162 games. So he's going to be in the lineup every day. He's going to be probably leading off for you every day for some reason because that just works somehow. Like Kyle Schwarber's,
Schwarber, he broke the
he's
concept of the leadoff hitter, and I love it.
it's great. Kyle Schwarber is one of the best leadoff hitters in baseball.
Him and George Springer.
Yeah, they've been great for that spot. They've really developed the game a lot, and it's really cool to see. Um, and I'm glad that the Phillies are bringing him back and trying to keep the core and trying to win with these guys because, like you mentioned, how have they not won the World Series at least once already? Like, I wasn't sure. there was a part of me who was unsure if they were gonna like try to run it back with the same guys or just like scrap everything, try to build up new. But it seems like they're committing, and it seems like they're committing to winning with the guys that they've had. So that's good to see. I like that. Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be you're gonna have a lot of reasons to wear that hat next season for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I just love the color on it. It's a really nice design hat. It's a really
It's
good design
nice.
hat. Yeah.
It's a nice color.
Yeah, but I'd say the Phillies got 2 years left to make this happen.
Yeah, they are running out of time.
JT's knees cannot hold out for much longer.
Nope, no, they're running their course for sure.
Yeah. So another major signing that happened this morning, the Dodgers signed Edwin Diaz to the largest dollar per year contract for a reliever in MLB history. 3 years, $69 million. It's a very nice contract.
Very
Uh,
nice.
yeah, and it broke Diaz's previous record for the largest per year contract for a reliever that the Mets signed Diaz to in 2022, being valued at 5 years, 102 million. So, and it's crazy because he opted out of the Mets contract 2 years before he would have been a free agent, and he's like, "Hey, Dodgers, I know you're giving people a lot of money lately. How much do you want to give me? What if we gave you, I don't know, like over $20 million a year? Sure. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good."
Yeah, yeah, that is it's hard to turn that down, you know. Something interesting is that the Mets also gave him a contract. I believe it was 3 years for $66 million, only $3 million less than the Dodgers. And I feel like if he asked for it, they probably would have given him the extra $3 million and matched the contract. So it seems like he kind of just wants out of New York and wants to go to LA, which I can't blame him.
That
He
seems
had
to be the vibe in New York because
Yeah,
despite them being like top three in payroll the last 3 years, they've also been top three in disappointment.
yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%. Yeah, the way that their season ended this year was, it definitely left a. I'm not even a Mets fan, and it left a sour taste in my mouth because I know what this team could have been, and I know how good they should have been. Like,
Yeah, like
especially
losing
with
on
the
the, sorry, no, sorry, go.
oh yeah, especially with like the moves that they made at the deadline, increasing like improving their bullpen, which was another weak spot. Their pitching was not great last year, and it's going to be worse next year, seemingly. So, yeah, it's a scary situation for the Mets fans.
Yeah, man, losing on the final game of the season last year and just a complete collapse in September altogether. And they made a bunch of trades to get three pretty good relievers that seemed like would kind of fix the pitching issue, but I feel like it just made it worse because now you just have more money on your payroll with the same outcome. So I don't think that they need to keep moving guys, making more trades, making more signings. I think they need to make an organizational change within the organization because clearly who's ever leading the development with their pitching arms is not doing their job.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely not. They really need to shake things up and do things differently for sure. They haven't been able to like sign for or trade for great starting pitching really, and it seems like that it's probably going to stay that case. I don't think that starting pitchers are going to be super enthusiastic about being a Met in the next couple of years. I feel like it's kind of a rough spot. I'm very curious and unsure of what they're going to be doing in the future. Um, but I mean, like,
I feel like the Mets are like if the A's had money.
yeah,
That, that
yeah,
that's how I feel because in terms of like a fan base and their reception of the team,
yeah,
because the A's, they don't have a lot of money, but they have a great dedicated fan base that loves their team and they're disappointed because they have no money, so they don't really have a team that can really ever truly fully develop into a World Series contending team and a core roster. But the thing is, the Mets do have the money and they do have the capabilities to make that happen, but they don't. So they're both kind of sitting in the same place at the end of the day, just under somewhat different circumstances.
Yeah, and the Mets don't really have much of an excuse for the position that they're in because of the money
Not
that
a
they've spent.
single no no
Like,
no no
I
no because
mean,
like you can't even blame it on the farm system because they always have prospects.
yeah, they always do. It seems like every year they got another one of the top prospects in baseball, and like if you have Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, and Pete Alonso not making the playoffs is like unacceptable. Kind of like they're three of the
And
best hitters in the National League.
and finishing around 500.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah, and it was a pretty. I don't know if I would say it wasn't the most competitive wild card race. I'd say like
No, and
the
also the
teams.
East was pretty weak that year besides the Phillies. Like the Nationals weren't doing great. The Marlins were like average and the Braves had a very, very off year. So the the Mets had all the chances to, have a decent season.
Yeah, yeah, they really needed to take advantage of the seasons that the other teams were having, and they just didn't. And it's really tough to see, and I don't. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do next year because the team is losing. They're losing guys. They're losing
And
important
players are
guys.
jumping ship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Pete Alonso. We don't even know where he's gonna go yet. If they lose him too, which it seems like
I don't think he's coming back,
I
man.
don't think he's gonna at this point after they lose Ryan Helsley and Edwin Diaz with the rest of the pitching that they have. Like I don't know if he's gonna come back. Their closer is probably gonna be Devin Williams, who is coming off his worst season of his career. So it's a really
And they lost
tough
Ryan
situation.
Helsley to Baltimore.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Not good.
not good. It's scary for them. But I mean, from the Dodgers side of it, I love this signing for them. It's great. I mean, who's surprised that the biggest market reliever, if it's a big market, the Dodgers are going to be
Oh
in
wait,
talks with
hold
them.
on.
Oh, wait, you just
It,
froze.
yeah, it froze. Just start from the biggest market reliever again.
Okay, when you have the biggest market reliever uh, as a free agent, the Dodgers are going to be in talks with him, and there's a good chance that they're gonna be signing him. And he's coming off an incredible year, one of the best seasons of his career. He's been like one of the best relievers in baseball since he got to the league, pretty much. And he was just incredible this year. He had a 1.63 ERA, 98 strikeouts, and 66 and a third innings. So he's gonna be their closer, 100%. Like I don't know what their plan is for Roki Sasaki, but if they plan on keeping him in the bullpen too.
I would say he'd probably be a long relief, like if a starting pitcher needs to come out in the sixth, he can go to the eighth,
Yeah,
type stuff.
yeah, 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 for sure. I could see him being like a 2 inning, a 3 inning guy, kind of like what he was doing in the playoffs, and it seemed like it worked out really well for him. So
He's a lot more comfortable doing it too.
yeah, yeah, 100%. He was in his element for sure. And that says a lot because those were the highest intensity games that he's played in his career, and he completely stepped up to the plate. Well, he stepped up to the mound, and he was incredible. So if the two of them are in the back of the bullpen for the Dodgers, that's going to be a scary combination.
Yeah, and the Dodgers definitely needed a bit of help in the pitching category, so they got the help. That deferred money is doing dividends for them, man.
It's helping a lot. I
I can't
mean,
blame them. I cannot blame them
yeah,
because the thing is, every other owner in the league can be doing the same thing. They can be doing it, but they're not. They're
but they're
not.
not. They're not, and the Dodgers are, and that's why they're the best team in baseball. They've won back-to-back World Series. They've been the best team in baseball, but their bullpen was the weak spot of their team. It was pretty clear, especially in the playoffs, that the bullpen did need improvement. They spent they spent $85 million signing Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates, and neither of those guys worked out for them. They struggled, both of them. Tanner Scott played 61 games and had a 4.74 ERA. Kirby Yates played in 50 games and had an ERA over 5, and they combined for 54 runs, just the two of them during the regular season.
And Tanner Scott was making a lot of money
A
too.
lot of money. Yeah, they paid them big, and neither of them were used in the playoffs, which is like
Yeah,
not.
Tanner Scott got left off the roster along with Vesia, granted for completely different reasons. Obviously, hope Vesia's family doing. I hope Vesia's family is doing well. Also, just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, Dodgers are just continuing to fix every problem by throwing money at it, and I don't blame them. And the thing is, they're throwing money at good solutions. We've seen the Angels throw money at very bad solutions. Cough, cough, Josh Hamilton. Cough, cough, kind of Pujols. Cough, cough, Rendon. I could cough a bit more.
Yeah, we're gonna get a cold talking about the Angels too much.
Yeah, I'll be Trevor Kaufman. Or I'll be at Kauffman Stadium.
You're gonna be left in a coffin,
Oh, yeah.
just like the Angels' hopes.
Yeah, it's rough out here, guys. But yeah, that's all of the major stuff that's happened so far in the off season. We are expecting the rest of the Hall of Fame results to be coming in early January, like previously stated. So we'll be going over that. And also for our Marvel fans, Wonder Man comes out next month. We'll be covering that. It's going to be great. We're very excited. So if you want to watch that, click on the video when it comes out, and we'll be very happy to see you there. But if anything else happens in the MLB universe, we'll be covering it and talking about it. So when that happens, we hope to see you guys on the next one. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching and hope to see you on the next video. Later.